The alliance to restore the Republic rests on high-minded ideals, but its battles must still be won in the trenches. The rebellion's troops go into every battle outnumbered and outgunned. Against these long odds, they must use their cunning, their skill, and their courage to ensure that hope persists for one more day in the galaxy. Take the fight to the Empire in Forged in Battle. This sourcebook expands upon the Age of Rebellion role-playing game, presenting new options for soldier characters as well as any other characters interested in standing on the front lines in the Star Wars galaxy. Wield powerful weapons, face dangerous odds, and strike a blow for the Rebellion. This is a review of Forged in Battle. Let's dive in. So here we have Star Wars Age of Rebellion Forged in Battle, a sourcebook for soldiers. This was published back in 2016 by Fantasy Flight, now Edge Studios. The beginning of the book describes how soldiers fit into the Star Wars universe, which should be a given for anyone who's actually watched the movies. It does take it a step further by describing the different posts a soldier could have in the Rebel Alliance. It's all fluff, but if you like that sort of thing, then you'll like it here. Heroes of the Rebellion is the chapter for new player options. This will include species and new specializations. Heroes have new duties that are specific to the soldier career. So we're going to have things like clear skies, combat victory, internal security, intelligence, morale, personnel, placard hunter, psychological warfare, wow, that's really dark actually, recruiting, resource acquisition, sabotage, and support. There are a whopping 4 new species, Ilum and Ilumin, which come from the same world and sound the same, but are very much different. We've got the Kyuzo and the Shistavanin. Ilum begin the game with a 3 in Brawn, a 1 in Presence, and a 2 in everything else. Their wound threshold is 10 plus Brawn, and their strength threshold is 9 plus Willpower. They start with 100 XP. They begin the game with 1 rank in Resilience, and they have Digging Claws. So before using a maneuver to move, an Ilum may spend a maneuver to dig, allowing the Ilum to use that move maneuver to travel through loose soil or similar terrain. At the Game Master's discretion, this excavation can result in a low, narrow tunnel that others can use. The Ilumin begin the game with a 3 in Intellect, a 1 in Willpower, and a 2 in everything else. Their wound threshold is 9 plus Brawn, and their strength threshold is 10 plus Willpower. They begin the game with 105 XP, and they begin the game with 1 rank in Charm and Knowledge Education. Kyuzo begin the game with a 3 in Agility, a 1 in Presence, and a 2 in everything else. Their wound and strength threshold is 11 plus the relevant characteristic, but begin the game with 90 XP. They begin the game with 1 rank in Coordination, and they have Dense Musculature. Kyuzo are adapted for Fatrong's relatively high gravity, and can make impressive bounding leaps on most other worlds. Once per round as a maneuver, a Kyuzo may suffer 3 strain to leap horizontally or vertically to any location within medium range. Shistavanin begin the game with a 3 in Agility and Intellect, a 2 in Brawn and Cunning, and a 1 in Willpower and Presence. Their wound threshold is 12 plus Brawn, and their strength threshold is 10 plus Willpower, but they only have 80 XP to start with. They begin the game with 1 rank in either Brawl or Survival, and they have Hunter's Instincts. When making a check for Initiative, a Shistavanin may make a Survival check instead of a Discipline or Cool check. Soldiers have 3 new specializations: Heavy, Trailblazer, and Vanguard. The soldier's starting career skills are Athletics, Brawl, Knowledge Warfare, Medicine, Melee, Ranged Light, Ranged Heavy, and Survival. The Heavy bonus career skills add Gunnery, Perception, Ranged Heavy, and Resilience to that list. In the first tier, we have Burly. Reduce any wielded weapon's cumbersome quality and encumbrance rating by a number equal to ranks in Burly to a minimum of 1. We have Barrage. Add 1 damage per rank of Barrage to 1 hit of successful attacks while using Ranged Heavy or Gunnery skills at long or extreme range. We have Grit. Gain +1 Strength threshold, and we have Toughened. Gain +2 Wound threshold. In the second tier, we have another rank of Barrage, but we also add Brace. Perform the Brace maneuver to remove 1 setback die per rank of Brace from next action. This may only remove a setback die added by environmental circumstances. We have spare clip. Cannot run out of ammo due to despair. Items with limited ammo quality run out of ammo as normal. And then there's durable. May reduce any critical injury suffered by 10 per rank of durable to a minimum of 1. In the third tier, we have another rank of burly, and we have another rank of toughened, but we also add sidestep. Once per round, may perform sidestep maneuver and suffer a number of strain to upgrade difficulty of all incoming ranged attacks by an equal number. Strain suffered this way cannot exceed ranks in sidestep. And we have heroic fortitude. May spend 1 destiny point to ignore effects of critical injuries on brawn or agility checks until the end of the encounter. In the fourth tier, we have another rank of brace and another rank of barrage. But we also add Rain of Death. Perform the Rain of Death maneuver to ignore the increased difficulty due to the auto-fire quality of attacks made this turn. And we have Heroic Resilience. Immediately after being hit by an attack, but before suffering damage, spend 1 destiny point to increase soak by ranks in resilience. In the last tier, we have another rank of burly, but we also add dedication, so we gain +1 to a single characteristic. Remember, this cannot bring a characteristic above 6. We also have armor master, so when wearing armor, increase total soak value by 1, and we have heavy hitter. Once per session, spend a triumph on a successful ranged heavy or gunnery check to add the breach 1 quality to the attack, or increase an existing breach rating by 1. The Trailblazer's bonus career skills include Knowledge Outer Rim, Perception, Stealth, and Survival. In the first tier, we have Stalker. Add a boost die per rank of Stalker to Stealth and Coordination checks. We have our first rank of Toughened. We have Outdoorsman. Remove a setback die per rank of Outdoorsman from checks to move through terrain or manage environmental effects. Decrease overland travel times by half. And we have Expert Tracker. Remove a setback die per rank of Expert Tracker from checks to find tracks or track targets. Decrease time to track a target by half. In the second tier, we have another rank of Outdoorsman, but we also add Disorient. After hitting with combat checks, may spend 2 advantages to disorient target for a number of rounds equal to ranks in Disorient. We have Prime Positions. When this character or an ally in short range takes cover, he increases soak against range attacks by 1 per rank of Prime Positions until he leaves that cover. And we have Cunning Snare. Once per encounter, as an action, may create a trap. Any other character who moves to engaged range of the trap must make an opposed vigilance versus survival check to avoid harm and ill effects. In the third tier, we have a rank of Grit, we have another rank of Toughened, but we also add Dodge. When targeted by combat check, may perform a dodge incidental to suffer a number of strain no greater than ranks of dodge, then upgrade the difficulty of the check by that number. And we have Blind Spot. This character and allies within short range add advantage to combat checks while benefiting from cover. In the fourth tier, we have another rank of Dodge, we have another rank of Expert Tracker, but we also add Prey on the Weak. Add +1 damage to 1 hit of successful combat checks against disoriented targets per rank of Prey on the Weak. And we also have One with Nature. When in the wilderness, the character may make a simple survival check instead of discipline or cool to recover strain at the end of an encounter. In the final tier, we have a rank of Dedication, we have another rank of Disorient, and we have another rank of Prey on the Weak. But we also add Ambush. Once per round, while benefiting from cover, may make the ambush maneuver. Add damage equal to stealth skill to 1 hit of next successful combat checks against a target within short range before the end of the turn. The Vanguard's bonus career skills include Athletics, Cool, Vigilance, and Resilience. In the first tier, we have Bodyguard. Once per round, perform the Bodyguard maneuver to guard an engaged character. Suffer a number of strain no greater than ranks of Bodyguard. Then, until the beginning of the next turn, upgrade the difficulty of combat checks targeting that character by that number. We have Conditioned. Remove a setback die per rank of Conditioned from Athletics and Coordination checks. Reduce the damage and strain suffered from falling by 1 per rank of Conditioned. We have our first rank of Toughened, And then we have rapid reaction. Suffer a number of strain to add an equal number of successes to initiative checks. Strain suffered cannot exceed ranks in rapid reaction. In the second tier, we have another rank of toughened, but we also add moving target. If the character has already acted this round, increase range defense by 1 per rank of moving target. We have point blank. Add 1 damage per rank of point blank to damage of 1 hit of successful attacks using ranged heavy or ranged light skills at short range or engaged. And then we have suppressing fire. Character and allies in short range may spend an advantage on failed combat checks once per round to inflict 1 strain per rank of suppressing fire on the target. In the third tier, we have another rank of conditioned, another rank of bodyguard, another rank of toughened, and another rank of rapid reaction. In the fourth tier, we have another rank of toughened, another rank of suppressing fire, and another rank of moving target. But we also add improved bodyguard. So once per session, when an ally protected by the bodyguard maneuver suffers a hit, suffer the hit instead. In the final tier, we have our rank of dedication, but we also have supreme bodyguard. Bodyguard maneuver may protect a number of engaged characters up to ranks in resilience. We also have dynamic fire, so when making a ranged attack while engaged with an opponent, may suffer 2 strain to reduce the ranged modifier by 1, and we have seize the initiative. Once per session, as a maneuver, may make a hard athletics check. On success, other PCs may take their turns immediately. Soldiers have a new motivation category, relationships. That's very odd, but it will include things like place, local civilian, childhood friend, comrades, sibling, mentor, lover, family or clan, tech, or rival. Soldiers also have 2 signature abilities, the bigger they are and unmatched courage. Signature abilities are powerful, usually once per session abilities. These are attached to the bottom of a specialization that matches the career for that ability. There are also upgrades that you can purchase that make them even better. The bigger they are's base ability says, once per game session, as an action, the character may spend 2 destiny points. Nominate 1 vehicle, starship, or living creature of silhouette 2 or smaller that he can see, and make a hard knowledge warfare check. If he succeeds, for the next 3 rounds, he and each other friendly character within medium range of him ignore the target's armor, or soak, when inflicting damage on the target with non-vehicle/starship weapons. Unmatched Courage's base ability says once per game session, as an out-of-turn incidental, the character may spend 2 destiny points to ignore the effects of all critical injuries for 2 rounds. When this effect ends, he suffers the effects of these critical injuries as normal. Weapons of War is the new gear section. We'll find new weapons, armor, gears, mods, and vehicles to use. For energy weapons, we're going to have things like the SC-14C Blaster Pistol, DH-17 Blaster Carbine, A280C Heavy Blaster Rifle, Pulse Cannon, T7 Ion Disruptor, very powerful against droids by the way, Cuzo Energy Bow, very perfect for your Cuzo characters, Z6 Rotary Blaster Cannon, J10 Dual Blaster Cannon, Reciprocating Quad Blaster Cannon, and the Atgar Space Defense 1-8 FD Auto Turret. The last 3 are gunnery weapons, so very good for your soldier characters that make use of the gunnery skill. For other ranged weapons like slug throwers, we're going to have the SH-9 Slug Thrower Pistol, the Berserker Rifle, and the Imperial Heavy Repeater. For explosives and other weapons, we'll have things like the Shaped Thermal Grenade, very powerful, the CSPL-12 Projectile Launcher, Frag Grenade, and the LJ-50 Concussion Rifle. For new melee weapons, we're going to have things like the Akrab Clip Point Vibro Dagger, because of course we would need another vibro weapon. We have the Cuzo War Shield, also perfect for your Cuzo characters, and the Shistavanen Combat Utility Vibroblade, which I would imagine is different than a normal Vibroblade. For armors, we're going to have things like the Alliance Light Stealth Armor, Imperial Hazards Trooper Armor, Imperial Storm Commando Armor, the Carflow Thin Suit, and the Rebel Heavy Battle Armor. For new gear and equipment, we're going to have things like the 3-mal Secure Comlink, the DH-77 Headcom, Atgar Artillery Remote, Low Feedback Scanner, SE Vigilant Automated Sensor, Nolicane, Stim Stick, and Military Trauma Packs. We'll also have things like the Code Sensor Unit, the Entrenching Tool, portable power generator, pre-Tormen plastent, military modular backpack frame, temperature control unit, power unit, comms unit, sensors unit, oxygen unit, and storage unit. And those last bits are for the backpack frame. For new vehicles, we're going to have things like the all-terrain tactical enforcer, the Bactoid versatile athletic Zalaka walker, the Aero 23 land speeder, the Imperial troop transport, the HAVR A9 floating fortress, which actually sounds awesome, the SC2M repulsor tank, the low altitude assault transport, the LAATI, the LAATC, the high altitude entry transport 221, and the Imperial droid ship transport. Indomitable Courage is the chapter that you're going to have your GM's toolkit. The first thing you'll come across is how to integrate soldiers and their specific roles into a campaign, which shouldn't be too hard, but it does provide some ideas that you can actually use. There is a section that describes 3 different adventures, acquisitions, asset denials, and coup d'etats. Very basic, but again, if you're struggling for ideas, then these could help light the spark. Something that is possibly of use, in a very circumstantial way, is building fortifications. You can build a trench, a bunker, or blind, each with their own time to complete. There's also a table for spending advantages, triumphs, threats, and despairs after the check. Another useful mechanic is the inclusion of combat environments. We have urban combat, boarding actions, and wilderness combats, and each of those will have a table for spending advantages, threats, triumphs, and despairs as well. If you're actually playing in those environments, then this could be a way to spice up combat a little bit. Something very weird is the inclusion of battle scars as a reward. These take the forms of pre-existing talents that you'll have to spend XP on whenever you take one of the critical injuries listed. I'm not really a big fan of this, but the Spoils of War is pretty interesting. You'll have things like trophies, Imperial Officer's Cap, Stormtrooper Helmet or Comlink, and then the Imperial Intelligence Badge. They provide buffs in the way of boost dice, and that's pretty much it. This one is gonna sit low tier for me. The soldier career is a staple in the game, but there really isn't much in terms of new mechanics. The new specializations are interesting, and there are new weapons and armor to explore, but that's about it. Fortifications are very circumstantial, but if you can find a way to include them, then it could make an encounter a little bit more memorable. Unless you're looking for new specializations for soldiers, you might just want to pass this one up. Well, that's going to do it for this video. Feel free to leave a comment down below, give this video a huge thumbs up to support this series, and I will see you guys in the next video.